Let's jump right into a demo and add color using the 3 common CSS color techniques. We are in VS Code with the Resume project open. Click Go Live to use Live Server and launch the browser. And let's rearrange to display the editor and browser side by side. In the index.html file, let's add some text describing our skills. Under the main element, after our existing paragraph elements, we'll add a section and an H3 header for that section. We'll title the section Skills. Let's insert 3 paragraphs of text describing our skills. Feel free to add any text here. I'll paste some in. Let's add a class attribute to each paragraph so we can independently style each one. Class equals skills-web. Class equals skills-languages. Class equals skills-repo. Notice that I use a dash, not an underscore or capitalization, to separate the words of my class names. Now we want to try out several different ways to describe color. And we're going to break the cardinal rule of color, that is, adding too much color. We can always remove all of this color later. Click on Style.css. Scroll up. Let's declare a style for each of our paragraph classes. We'll add it under our Highlight class selector. For skills-web, let's set the color using the RGB function notation. I'll pick some red and blue for a nice shade of purple. For skills-languages, let's use hex notation and pick a nice shade of brown, AE 7168. And for the skills-repo, viewer's choice. Pick a color and notation for describing that color. I'll go with hex and a shade of green, 40 C4 63. In the browser, we see our color choices. Very colorful. Before we move on, let's look at VS Code's color picker. Hover over the color next to the hex value, and the color picker appears. On the far right, we can select a color. On the left, we can fine-tune that color. Notice at the top it shows the hex value of the selected color. Nice. Now I'll Ctrl-Z a few times to undo the new color picker selection. Let's leave our workspace set up for the next topic and go back to the slides. When selecting colors for websites, here are some best practices. Think about the mood and theme of the website. Define a complementary set of colors that reflect that mood. Light, earthy colors like greens and blues for calm. Brighter colors like red and orange for energy. Darker colors like black for drama. And whites and creams for simplicity. Just like those black and white kitchens on any home improvement show, contrast makes elements stand out. There are applications on the web to help you find the best contrast for your color choice. Follow the 60-30-10 rule. Use your main color on 60% of the site, a secondary color on 30% of the site, and a contrasting accent color on 10% of the site. And a corollary to that, don't add too much color as it makes it harder to know what to focus on. Be sure that there is a high contrast between your font color and your background. You don't want the user struggling to read the text. So, to add color to our web pages, we have to describe the color to the browser. Use a color keyword to select one of the predefined web colors, or use the RGB function notation to specify the amount of red, green, and blue in the color. The function takes either a number from 0 to 255 or a percentage from 0 to 100%. Or we can use hex notation to specify the amount of red, green, and blue in the color using the shorter syntax. Now that we can color our text, how about changing the font? That's up next. Don't forget to like and subscribe.